Blood orange morning, we hardly slept. Polished chrome, tinted glass, the way you looked then. We slept with our heads together, we had the same dream. Cityscape and the chips door beams. Hit the roof of the car, driving through the yellow light. Golden glow reflecting your smile in the night. I'll let your red shotgun as the sun is fading. Oh, we'll get out of here, baby. Out on the lakeside, where we stopped to rest, 1,000 miles from home, but we never felt this close. We'll start a new life in a new kind of light, where the water's never murky and the sky is clear. We slept with our heads together, we had the same dream. New town in the window of a train. Going 85 under a street light. Empty freeway in the middle of the night. I'll let you DJ, lean the seat back, you know, get car sick like that. It gets cold when we run. Pray for an early sun. Timeless and patience in the light. We dance together all night. We slept with our heads together. We had the same dream. A new town in the window of a tree. Going 85 under the street lights. Empty freeway in the middle of the night. I'll let you DJ, lean the seat back, even though you get car sick like that.
Tell me where to go, what to do.
To another flow.
Tell me where to go, what to do.
To another flow.
Show me the stars. Show me the stars.
Get it poppin' with it.
Tell me where to go, what to do.
To another flow.
Tell me where to go, what to do.
To another flow.
Show me the stars. Show me the stars.
Get it poppin', put it. Get it poppin', put it. To another flow. Get it poppin', put it. To another flow. Get it poppin', put it. To another flow.
Alright, switching over to the caster screen right now.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome. Good afternoon or perhaps early evening for some more AVGL Summer Series Rocket League Edition. I am Septilins, joined by the wonderful Mega Dino Sir to bring you not one or two, but 3 games here tonight.
Yeah, 3 whole games. We got best of 5, and then a best of 7. And I'm certainly excited to see what these teams. We saw some of them play yesterday. St. Clair looked very, very sharp, and they'll be playing in the finals match tonight against Central Florida, who had a little bit of a tight game, but they came out the better end and found themselves in the finals.
Yeah, certainly so. So like you said, we're going to be looking at 3 games tonight, the winners finals into the losers finals into grand finals. And grand finals will be that best of 7 that we want to be keeping an eye on. But first, we've got to get through 2 games coming up here. Like you talked about already, we've seen a couple of teams, some perhaps a little bit more convincing than others. So this winners final, I mean, could be very one-sided, could take us all the way to game 5. It really depends what these players have brought to the table here today.
Yeah, and I mean, you could look at all the past games and the seedings and things like that, and at the end of the day, it truly is what you come with, you come to the table with today, and that's what's going to determine who wins as we jump right in this first match.
We're going to be jumping in here, like you said, St. Clair versus Central Florida. St. Clair, a team perhaps a little bit more successful in Central Florida, has been able to find themselves so far. But of course, only 8 seconds into the match, this is clearly anybody's game. Reminder, this is the winner's final. This is a best of 5, or often referred to as a first to 3. So keep an eye on that. Whichever one of these teams wins 3 games is the winner and moves on to those grand finals. But still, half a minute so far in this game 1, often referred to as the feeling out period, where these teams are just kind of getting to read each other's play styles.
Yeah, a little skill check, maybe a little seeing what you can get away with. Maybe trying to find a hole here as the shot comes through. It is blocked by Bits. And Bambi going to clear that one right out. Nice play forward, comes off the back wall, is intercepted by Jay, however. Snipe's going to look for something here. Maybe a little flip reset, is intercepted. Unable to get that one out.
Oh, and Bambi just barely able to find ball control for Central Florida, and then immediately going to get demoed out of it. So luckily enough, Bits was in the right place at the right time to get things lined up and keep the ball in play for the side of Central Florida. But now it looks like St. Clair might be able to find their way in the ball, spending a lot of time in that midfield area. It feels neither team has really taken a lead so far in terms of aggression.
Yeah, it's been back and forth, certainly, and good show on defense and rotations. We saw a little bit yesterday, some teams were struggling with rotations, and sometimes you had double commits on defense, and so far we haven't seen any of those mistakes, and that is nice to see. The Demolition comes out here.
Yeah, Demo coming out there onto comp, I believe, and now it looks like, I mean, the fact that we're already a minute and a half into this, only a minute shy of half time, is just showing that these teams nobody's been hyper aggressive here in this first round. It's been a lot of seeing, are we going to fall into the offense? Are we going to fall into the defense? And so far, it really feels like nobody has been able to decide. Bambi from Central Florida going to be able to send the ball off center field once again, but St. Clair will capitalize off the back of it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a loose ball here. Clearance just bounces off. Kamal's there just to kind of get it, and Jay cleans up.
A cleanup coming through very efficiently there. St. Clair putting themselves up 1-0 with 3 minutes left on the clock. Now, this is going to be a little bit aggressive coming out from Central Florida as they need to turn things around, and just like that, Bits is able to do it, turns it around, and immediately off the kickoff puts 1 goal away.
Yeah, kind of, we were saying the caster's blessing yesterday. We talked about how you have to come back and score, and then immediately the goal follows. And so Central Florida coming up with an answer, a good response to St. Clair's early goal. We'll see if they can keep up that pace.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on that pace for sure, especially because in Rocket League, a 1-1 is essentially a complicated 0-0 as neither team really has a lead. Scomp goes for an aggressive goal. Jay goes for another, and it looks like it's going to be able to get blocked out twice. Bits with that second defensive play. Kamal coming up over the top, and Central Florida once again has found themselves in control of the ball. Going to be set up above goal, but just taken a little bit wide by Jay there to prevent another goal from coming through.
Yeah, now played up. Bits maybe with a shot here, puts it away. Wow. Lofty clearance is punished.
Yeah, Bits just doing a good job. I mean, this is just nothing short of clean. We see a defender on the side of Central Florida get in the way of Scomp there. I didn't catch the name, but either way, Scomp was taken out of that defense, and Central Florida's Bits took full advantage of that opportunity just underneath halftime. Central Florida has found themselves in the lead once again.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job here. Maybe a bit unexpected considering how well St. Clair did in the semifinals. And how close of a game that Central Florida game was. You know, now here they are on the front foot.
Yeah, St. Clair for sure, definitely a team after yesterday's performance that we expected to maybe, I even said it at the beginning of the game, we expected them to come out, be a little bit stronger, be a little bit more consistent, but now, Central Florida, they've already found themselves up 2-1. We see Bambi catch the ball mid-air, going to get set up for a third goal, but with a double commit on the defending side on the left of the goal. It's going to be difficult to follow up on, but Bits and Snipes once again come through, put the third point online for Central Florida.
Yeah, great control by Bambi there, and Snipes with an absolutely gorgeous pass. Made it real easy for Bits to put that one away.
Yeah, Bits now, I don't think that was the hat trick. That was at least 2, could have possibly been 3, but I don't believe Bits has found all 3 goals for Central Florida. And wow, Kamal almost with a response goal once again. Could have been absolutely insane there. Jay going to go for a goal on the back of Central Florida's lack of defense, but unfortunately nothing going to come through yet. Comp is going to get in the way there, and now it's a lot of that back and forth again. Comp, okay, from one side of the field straight to the other, but a great interruption from Bambi.
Yeah, nice ball control there from Comp, and it's just, you know, good defense from Central Florida. Kind of puts an end to that little nifty trick, if you will, and it hasn't stopped him quite yet. Trying to go for that pre-flip, just misses it by a whisker. And Jay's going to play it off the sidewall. Snipes going to intercept. He's going to be a little short on that one. Let's place it over the top. Nice little bounce back down. Again, off the back wall for Snipes. Snipes does beat Jay to the ball. Not finding anything, but Bits does. Nice little shot there.
Bits coming through. Yeah, that was going to be... I was going to say already with a minute 10 on the clock, this is... I mean, it's not guaranteed over, as there was only a 2-point difference, but a 3-point difference here with only 60 seconds left on the clock. Essentially gives this game to Central Florida. There is a world where St. Clair can really just kick it into 5th gear and come out stronger, but if Bits just sinks this one in, that'll be the nail in the coffin. However, Jay with a great disruption, but the follow-up from Bambi. One defender can only do so much there, and Central Florida going up 5-1 in the first game.
Yeah, I think at this point, if you're St. Clair, you're probably looking forward to the next match. Not too much hope coming back in this one. Anything's possible, you know. Certainly, if you get one off of this kickoff here, that'd be a good way to start things. But I think if I'm on that team, I'm thinking, all right, what are we doing next game, boys?
Yeah, absolutely. As a wise man once said, GG, go next. And that's certainly the mindset St. Clair is bringing to the table. Central Florida, this is going to be good for not only their momentum, but I mean, just the aggression of taking that first game so convincingly. St. Clair, they've clearly got to make a couple of changes if they want to win in game 2.
Yeah, and I mean, Rocket League's a game of momentum, right? And so Central Florida finding much of this game, and perhaps next game St. Clair can, you know, find themselves in momentum. And I think finding that first goal could be pretty key to them there, but then you have to hang on to it, you know. You can't let
Absolutely.
Central Florida back in because they've shown that they can absolutely punish you.
Yeah, Central Florida, they have definitely taken full advantage of the fact that St. Clair is usually only leaving one defender coming through, and you can definitely see that they just send 2 people on goal, 2v1. Obviously, Central Florida is going to win that any day of the week, so now, just like that, the ball's smacked into the ground, and Central Florida very convincingly takes game 1.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. It was very convincing from Central Florida, who I would have thought, again, I would have, going into this, thought St. Clair had the advantage, but I mean, Central Florida, wow. What a performance from them in game 1, and hopefully they can keep the momentum in game 2.
Absolutely, and definitely we've seen what can come out from the team that's kind of on the losing side right now. They won yesterday, they looked super convincing, and then they come in today, and Central Florida has certainly made a name already, taking game 1 by quite a few points. That was definitely not the kind of point that, we lost by 1 point with 10 seconds left on the clock. No, that was a devastating loss there. Central Florida going up 1-0 in the series, now only 2 games short of taking this series before it can even really start.
Yeah, and this is just a mental reset, right? If you're St. Clair, you're just like, we're forgetting about that game. That game didn't happen. That was a bad dream. Take the Mario 2 cop out and then just move on. And look forward to make something happen this game.
Absolutely, and speaking of dreams, hopefully St. Clair has woken up a little bit here in game 2, because game 1 was certainly not for them. Bambi goes for a very aggressive goal there with a phenomenal pass, I believe, from Bits. St. Clair's defenders get in the way just a little bit. The goal goes up high once again, and Snipes is going to be able to catch it mid-air. The goal being left wide open for just a moment, still going to be missed by that crossbar. Wow, Bits, right place, right time, getting things lined up, and crossbar there, keeping this game at 0-0.
Yeah, really, really fast-paced game so far right out of the gate. Nobody is slowing up, and a great shot by Bits just goes in, and that's going to start Central Florida off on the right foot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got to say, Bits so far has been the player to watch out for. I think that's pretty obvious of a statement. But Bits has found, what did they find? 5 last game, 1 this game. So I think Bits has found 4, if not 5 of the 6 goals put online for Central Florida. So there have been quite a few plays that are really starting to revolve around Bits.
Yeah, Bits has been absolutely lethal thus far, and I expect him to continue to look very good yesterday.
Oh,
Bambi
no
almost gets it, but instead Snipes gets the goal.
I'm really glad we get to watch kind of a third-person reset here, or kind of a replay, because I have no idea where... Oh, there they are. Okay. I was going to say, I have no idea where Snipes was for that play, but they certainly came in off the back of Bambi's missed double tap, clean things up. Not even a minute off the clock. Central Florida already up 2-0.
Yeah, St. Clair again gonna have to reset. They got plenty time right on that clock. There's the bar, or as the ball hits the crossbar. Excuse me. Scott's gonna put it back in. Snipes right there, and St. Clair is certainly not out of it, but they're gonna have to find some sort of direction quickly if they want to come back in. This game 2.
Oh,
good
is that
demo.
gonna be it? No.
Yeah,
That was a phenomenal demo to
off
open the goal up, but yeah, I was gonna say, just a little bit off the mark. They're gonna miss the goal by just a bit. Not even a defender in sight to save the ball, and unfortunately, St. Clair's still rocking at 0 points. Bit's gonna get a great disruption, but he's got to get this ball out of his back third. A minute and a half off the clock, and if Central Florida can find a 3rd point before St. Clair even finds a 1st, that's gonna be a great way to enter halftime at this game.
Yeah, certainly. I think that's exactly what you're looking for if you're Central Florida. But if you're St. Clair, you definitely don't want that to happen. Is that shot's a little wonky. Bambi almost doesn't clean it out, but does in the end, and that's all that matters, I guess. Nice little touch by Jay.
Bambi almost does not clean that out, but gets
off the
cleaned out.
back wall. Great shot by Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. Comp coming in super strong. They're able to find that 1st goal. So all of a sudden, a game that looked pretty bleak for St. Clair's only 1 point away from each other. This is going to be a great start entering halftime, but they are starting a little bit late. They're going to have to keep this momentum moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the key. Momentum is what you want if you're St. Clair. Bambi with an absolutely disgusting shot. Just going to hit the crossbar, though. Little unlucky. It's Kamal a little pinch from the both of them. I don't know if that was planned, but it looked good. That's for sure. They're going to bounce it right off the ceiling. The shot is blocked. Bambi bounces it off. Kamal is going to dribble it out. Snipes with reception off the sidewall. Jay not going to quite get it. Central Florida looking a little dangerous here. Scott does get that, but Bambi with the return. And the boys in blue take that one away.
Yeah, St. Clair coming in strong here once again. They're going to be able to really put the pedal to the metal up against Central Florida. Comp goes for kind of a wide goal there, but sends the ball a little bit too high up, passing the attention back to Central Florida. Going to possibly go for a double tap, but wow. Kamal, right place, right time, interrupts that double tap combo, and now they're going to go for it once again. But St. Clair, they're definitely chasing this ball. They're getting hyper aggressive, making sure that at least one of them is on the ball at all times. I think that could really shift momentum moving into not only the second half of this game, but the next games as well.
Yeah, I think, you know, as the clock winds down, you gotta be more and more aggressive when you're behind by a goal. And a little trick shot from Bambi. I thought he was going low on that one. Instead, gets under the ball and puts it in the upper 90.
Yeah, and the ball, that when it bounces off the ceiling, it's so hard as a defender to figure out where it's going next. I think Bambi really doing a great job. They're bouncing it right off the ceiling. Like you said, just sinking it into goal there. We are once again in a game with a 2-point difference, a minute 41 on the clock. In Central Florida, if they can find one, especially 2 more goals, they can really confirm a Game 2 victory as well.
Wow.
Oh, never mind.
Absolute. That was so, that was so clean. That was so gorgeous. Just a beautiful pass and then a shot by Jay. Put that one in there, and they're back in it. They have not given up yet.
They certainly are. Short, sweet, and to the point on that one coming out from St. Clair. They have definitely decided that it was their time to shine. They put that goal away early on in response to what was brought to the table by Florida there. And a minute 30 left, only 90 seconds. But St. Clair, they've only got to score one more time to keep the dream alive.
Yeah, they do, and they got plenty of time. Minute and 20 seconds is a lot of time in Rocket League to make something happen. You don't necessarily want to dilly-dally.
Every minute in Rocket League is truly an eternity. Plenty of time for teams to find their scores. And Comp goes pretty high up, I think trying to pass the ball to Jay, but going to get disrupted by 2 of the defenders on the side of Central Florida. Now kicking into that 1-minute area. If you are on the side of Central Florida, you are just in a position to knock that ball toward the blue goal as many times as you can. You don't have to worry about scoring at this point. You just have to make sure St. Clair doesn't. But that is a great setup for a goal. Bambi tries to find it and does, with the help of Vince, get away from goal. But St. Clair comes in. They miss the attack. The goal is wide open. And Jay, no, off the side of the goal. Not going to be able to pick up the ball yet. And that miss right there, that slip up, maybe the very reason that St. Clair loses game 2.
Sometimes Rocket League is a game of micrometers. And just the tiniest angle can change things all the different, and that tiny angle might have just cost St. Clair this match. And I think after that one, the writing is on the wall.
Yeah, it truly is. This has been written in stone at this point. 17 seconds left, 4 versus 2. Central Florida, not as convincing as game 1, but they are still going to be able to take game 2 here, unless St. Clair gets a back-to-back kickoff goals, which would be absolutely absurd. And already not going to be able to find that first one. Central Florida snipes, finds a demo onto Jay. Now they've got a 2v3 for just a moment, but Jay actually respawning in front of their own goal. 8 seconds left on the clock, and Central Florida, they are just looking to be flashy at this point.
Yep, I think that is it. And Jay's going to try to keep this one alive, keep the spirits up, if you will. And Bit's going to probably look to ground that one. Yeah, he does, and that's going to be the end of that game. I think the major takeaway there, it was a little closer from St. Clair. I think that you can look at that last goal that Central Florida got, but I mean, that was just because St. Clair kind of had to overcommit to make something happen there. And so I think that if you're St. Clair, you're really taking away a positive coming out of this match.
Right.
I know that obviously you're down 2 goals, right? But you are starting to find those little cracks, right, in Central Florida's defense, and hopefully, you know, coming into this next game, you can really exploit them and come up with a good game plan moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that maybe that we want to see coming out from the Saints a little bit more is they had the same amount of shots on goal as Central Florida. But Central Florida obviously found some more, so maybe the Saints need to take a step back, leave somebody in the back third a little more often and defend the goal. Maybe that's going to be able to keep the game tied up a little bit, because that's, I mean, they're obviously being aggressive enough, right? They're just as aggressive as Central Florida, so maybe it's their defense that needs just a little bit of tweaking to succeed.
Yeah, and I don't think that would hurt them at all. All these players are very capable dribblers, and they can handle the ball well enough that they don't necessarily need all 3 to be committing on offense either, on every single attack. Obviously, you know, you need to bring 3 up when you need to bring 3 up, right? But you might be able to play a little bit more defensively minded coming into this game.
Yeah, and that's the difficult thing about Rocket League is triple commits can be helpful both on the offense and the defense, but sometimes they're just as disastrous, if not more harmful than helpful. So it's definitely something St. Clair needs to consider, is leaving somebody in that back third, you know, not the entire time, but constantly kind of having somebody to book it toward goal every time Central Florida finds their wheels on the ball once again. And speaking of Central Florida, they might know will not be able to find anything there. Kamal is going to find a great disruption, and Bits comes back, goes for a setup, and it is Kamal on the defense all day long.
Yeah, now the ball out in the wing, a little weird. Shot's going to be off target. Scomp's going to clean that one up. Bambi now looking to put it in the middle. Scomp comes right off the wall. Good pass to Kamal, and nope, it's blocked. Going to come back around. Central Florida, just a little back and forth here.
Yeah, I was going to say that this feels very reminiscent of Game 1, where it's not really one team taking an early lead or an early aggression. Instead, they're playing it a little bit slower, a little bit less aggressive here, and maybe St. Clair is going for that more consistent defense, if you will, but they hopefully won't give up on their offense in that same sense, because Rocket League is a game where a good defense can only do so much for you. You need a good offense to win.
Yeah, the game's kind of balanced to let goals go in, right? At the end of the day, so you want to focus on making sure that you're making the right offensive plays and doing just enough on defense to provide that what you need.
It's going to be, again, we're already almost 2 minutes into the match, and we've just got absolutely nothing. The ball has maybe seen the goal twice, but never once has there been a goal off the back. The comp goes for an up-high shot, and the double defense snipes it with a little bit of help from Bits. There is going to be able to keep this at 0 points. Central Florida, they've got to get that ball out of goal, and it looks like they're able to do so. If anything, that player from Central Florida there just disrupted a goal, but it looks like they're still going to be able to find one. Bambi there from midfield, putting the first point online for Central Florida.
This is a little unlucky from St. Clair here. You can see that Scomp tries to roll through. I think he hits Jay, and it just kind of knocks him up away from the ball, and that allows Central Florida to get that shot off. And that just, I mean, at that point, it's going in, right?
Of course. The scary thing about the scenario we're in right now is Rocket League's a game in which you can win by a single point, and right now that's what Central Florida has online. They might find 2 more, but no comp is going to get in the way. Line things up once again, and off the backboard, no follow-up quite in time, so it's going to be remaining at that 1 point. St. Clair, they've got ball possession for just a moment, but time and time again, every time we see a player from St. Clair get possession of the ball, somebody comes through, knocks it away just like that. They've really been struggling to find themselves in the driver's seat here in Game 3.
Yeah, a lot of aggression defensively coming out of Central Florida, and again, in Rocket League, that's kind of what you want, right? You don't want to be the guy who's sitting in the net, trying to, just waiting for that shot to come, because when it comes, you're not going to be able to do much about it. And so,
right,
just a very good look from Central Florida overall, and it's
yeah,
they're not making life very easy for St. Clair. Let's just say that much.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Not that Central Florida did poorly yesterday, but I think they're looking much cleaner today, much more aggressive. They're not making those micro errors, those micro mistakes. Comp is going to be able to find that demo on Bambi, which is good for St. Clair for a whopping 2 seconds. The respawn hasn't come through quite yet, but it respawns just as quickly as it happens. It's going to be a missed shot with the great help of Comp there, getting things out of the way. Bambi trying to play that defensive, but it's going to be difficult. You get read like a book. Comp is going to lose ball possession once again with St. Clair. They found the setup. Can they find the goal? And it looks like no, not going to be able to. Jay once again whipping the ball just a little bit wide. However, St. Clair, they've still got ball possession at least for a moment.
Yeah, I think St. Clair right now, we talked about this a lot yesterday, Coach Nuke and I. It seems like there's no intent with their touches. They're just kind of like knocking the ball forward and hoping for the best. And I think that they've got to sort of compose themselves if they want to make something happen like this. This is great from Scomp, just intercepted, unfortunately. But that's a big thing. I think, you want to be planning out your touches, because every single touch kind of counts at this level, right?
Yeah, unquestionably so. And right now, Central Florida, they are 50 seconds away from 3-0ing St. Clair here in a best-of-5 series. So this is going to be a very difficult turnaround for St. Clair. They've got 42 seconds. All they have to do is put a single point online to begin the very long journey of a reverse sweep. But of course, Central Florida is not going to let that happen easily. St. Clair, they've got to go out swinging here.
Yeah, just a little bit of control there. It seems like Central Florida's sort of moved to maybe less offensive-minded, more defensive-minded, and they're punished for it right there. A clean shot from Scomp from a near impossible angle. I don't know how he managed to get that one to go in.
Yeah, that was definitely, I don't want to say lucky, because the shot was certainly intentional, but it went in without much of a rejection coming out from the side of Central Florida. And now 1-1, 21 seconds left on the clock. I don't want to say this guarantees an overtime, but it feels pretty likely.
Yeah, 15 seconds left. You never know. It is Rocket League, right? Anything could happen, certainly, especially with players at this talent. Bambi with a very dangerous-looking ball off of the ceiling. It looks like that one's just going to die. And we're going to go to overtime. Never mind.
is that
Shot
it?
from the last
No.
minute.
Ball is
There
still
it is.
alive, but it's going to activate that overtime, so it is going to make an appearance once again. This is going to be tough here because this is the first time in a long time St. Clair has had this much of an opportunity to take a win away and force a game 4.
Yeah, now nerves start to take a little effect, right? Everything is on the line. You're in overtime. You got to get the golden goal. And the question is, can St. Clair step up to the plate and make that happen? Start off this reverse sweep.
It's going to be 24 seconds on the clock now. The interesting thing about Rocket League is, of course, that there's no way to draw. One of these teams has to walk away with a victory, and Bambi trying to find that for Central Florida here in Game 3. A great disruption from Bits above the goal, but Comp coming in around the side, going to knock it off the top of the goal there, and it looks like it's going to be another disruption from Central Florida. St. Clair's combos are constantly set up, and Central Florida just doing such a good job of constantly being in the way. It's really helping them keep this alive, and they've got to get this ball away from their goal. They can't stay on the defense forever.
Yeah, that ball's going to be safely played for Scomp. Oh, demolition there. Scomp goes down. A little slight advantage for Central Florida. A tiny power play, if you will. That power play is now over, and it is all even Stevens as far as cars on the field are concerned. Jay not going to look for the shot there. Instead, Scomp comes flying in from off screen. Bambi with the dribble. Setting up Bits, and now Snipes has a good chance for a shot there, but it's blocked.
Yeah, a great disruption from St. Clair once again. They're able to keep the ball kind of away from goal, and now we're stuck in a middle field portion. Central Florida maybe forced onto the back leg once again, but losing Comp that early. Going to open up the goal for just a moment, but Comp has already respawned by now. Off the top of the goal there, might be able to find a double tap, but no, Comp comes in, able to find a great disruption, and again, up in the aerial gameplay, Snipes finds one. Bambi isn't going to be able to find that goal yet with a great block from Jay. Now it is going to be all about which of these teams can find that golden goal here with already 2 minutes of overtime added.
A little cheeky maneuver from Bambi. Great stop by Scomp though. And they are all for it. They are trying to make this dream happen. Jay pitch, top shot off the crossbar. Maybe a little setup here. Ooh, a cheeky maneuver from Kamal, and not gonna happen. Not much happening from that one, I think.
And I think those 2 seconds just a moment ago was the only time we've seen the ball not in movement so far, but it looks like St. Clair, they're going to be able to pressure Central Florida once again for just a moment. Bambi able to find it over one defender, over two defenders, headed toward the open goal, but there it is. Comp, right place, right time, keeping the goal alive there. It's going to be nearly 3 minutes on the clock here as no team has been able to score quite yet. Central Florida, they are desperate to find the goal online, but St. Clair, they want to keep the dream alive, not quite able to do so. Jay coming back in, another disruption, bounces almost all the way in, but Bambi is going to be able to keep it out. Comp gets in the way, and Snipes can't find that goal out of the double tap, and there it is! Bambi puts it away. Central Florida taking a 3-0 series over St. Clair, 3 minutes into overtime of the final game.
Yeah, absolutely calm, cool, and collected was Bambi on that shot. And it was pretty much an open netter, and puts it away, and they find themselves the victor of this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking pretty victorious indeed. And I'm really curious to see what's going to be coming out in the future from Central Florida. We talked about how they kind of just barely made it here by the skin of their teeth, but they have emerged victorious in this game. They're going to be moving on, I believe, to the grand finals after a victory there. So that's going to be interesting to see what they're going to bring to the table later on as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see them, you know, in that grand finals match. And I mean, yeah, wow. What a performance from the lads, right? And so sad to see St. Clair lose, but, you know, all's fair in Rocket League.
To be fair, they're down, but they're not out. They've got to get through losers bracket as well, so there is a chance to come back, and we'll actually be in the losers finals, which I think we're going to see St. Clair again in that. So we're gonna take a super short break. Everybody here, you know, go use the restroom, go fill your water bottle, get up, stretch your legs, do what you got to do, but come right back because you're not going to want to miss this. Losers finals and the grand finals right after. We'll see you folks in just a couple of minutes.
slow. Move slow.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back. I was muted on my own, completely my own fault, but welcome back to the AVGL Summer Series Rocket League version. I'm still Septilin, joined by the wonderful Mega Dino, sir. We're going to be bringing you losers finals. This is going to be another best of 5. We'll be jumping into grand finals, a BO7 right after. But Mega Dino, we just saw St. Clair, a team that we're going to be seeing again. What do you think they really could have done different there in Game 1 to succeed?
Wow, that's a tough one to break. I mean, I feel like they just sort of got outpaced. One thing that we did talk about was that it seemed like, at least towards the end there, they were sort of just knocking the ball about, and they really didn't have any intent behind those touches. And so I think that if they're more careful with where they're placing the ball, a little bit more focused on what they're trying to achieve, that might work out a little better for them. But I do know that the Stockton team is looking very dangerous on this shot, as they beat the St. Clair B team to get here, and so now they're playing the St. Clair A team, and so we'll see if they're able to beat both St. Clair teams to make it to that grand finals.
Yeah, and like you said, this is going to be a spot for the grand finals, because if you lose this one, you're unfortunately out. This is already the losers bracket. There's no more second chances. There's no more bracket, no safety net to fall into. So this is going to be tough here. We're going to have to see St. Clair really come out strong, but it looks like they're not going to be able to find anything yet as Stockton almost finds that first goal.
Yeah, and there's a little interception from Bus. Stomp there, maybe looking for a little something. Nobody there to follow up. Just half a pace behind was Jay.
I think pacing's been a big issue for St. Clair so far today. We've definitely seen them struggling in terms of when to be on the offense, when to be on the defense, and what to do when they are on the offense. We've seen them, like you said, just kind of whacking the ball willy-nilly and doing their best to succeed off the back of it, but definitely struggling here in this game as well. They felt like they can't find their footing, whether they want to be on the offense, whether they want to be on the defense. It feels almost like they're trying to adapt too much.
Yeah, and I think that, just to kind of go back to pacing, you know, one of the things that when you think about good Rocket League players, you think of being able to do the air dribbles, you know,
right.
the musty backflips, you know, the air resets, those kind of things. But really, I think the things that separate like the top level players and people like me, right? It's the pace, right? It's being able to manage your boost properly. It's knowing what balls to go for. And it's knowing how to get to where you need to go as fast as possible. And I think that's been a sort of running theme throughout all these matches, right? You see one team is just a little tiny, a fraction faster, and the game's just going better for them that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're totally right when you talk about the kind of the pacing. And I think we're seeing St. Clair struggle with pacing just a little bit. They feel kind of tunnel visioned, where the only thing they're worried about is focusing on the ball, where the ball is at. It feels they're playing in the moment rather than playing ahead a little bit. I really would like to see them put on their 4D chess hats and kind of bring a little bit more convention to their plans.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned chess, because I was going to say, it's almost like chess where you want to be, you know, 2 or 3 steps ahead, you know, thinking, okay, not only thinking what do I want to do, but what are my opponents going to do? And we talked about this yesterday. You almost want to be countering your opponents, right? You want to know what they're thinking and then do what they don't expect you to do in a way, or do what it would be their weakness, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to find the cracks in the armor here of the opposing team, but it looks like nobody's been able to really be the attacker until just then. It looks like we're going to see D- come through and find a goal early on. 1:50 left on the clock, and Stockton is going to choose to put themselves up 1-0, less than 2 minutes left alive.
Yeah, just as you were saying, nobody finding anything, and D-Money comes along and cashes out on that one.
Yeah, a bit of a caster blessing once again there for Stockton. If they're able to take this, that could definitely be a good premonition in terms of what's going to be coming out in Game 2. But this game is certainly feeling a lot closer than what we saw in St. Clair's last matchup.
Yeah, it certainly is a lot closer. Again, St. Clair has not looked out of it for sure, but it's a mental game at this point, right? Stockton had to win to get here, right? So they're riding on that high to win to get in here. And in order for St. Clair to be in this match, they had to lose. And so you have to overcome that and just shake it off and move on and be able to find your own pace, be able to play your own game of Rocket League here in this one. Lovely dribble from what was that, Scomp, I believe?
I believe so, but I want to see what's going to be coming out here. 60 seconds left. St. Clair, if they lose this one, it'll be the 4th game in a row that they've lost, unfortunately, but they're going to be struggling to find any kind of opportunity moving forward. 55 seconds. We saw them in this exact scenario earlier up against Central Florida, and they were able to make a comeback in the final moments of the game, but are they going to be able to do that again? That's the real question.
Yeah, and how many times can you really rely on playing, from that sort of position? I think that even if they are able to come back from this game, next game they certainly have to be looking to get ahead early and start to, be able to dictate the pace a little bit.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be looking to dictate the pace here as aggressively as they can. I want to see what comes forward. They're going to be able to get a little bit aggressive there, but unfortunately, no, St. Clair's not going to be able to, find another goal. Stockton will take the lead and keep it here. 15 seconds left on the clock, and Rocket League doesn't come to a close until that timer hits 0. So St. Clair, they very well could be making a comeback, but they're certainly running out of time to do so.
Yeah, they got about 5 seconds, and however long they can keep it up in the air, and that's... Ooh, never mind. They are going to be able to keep it up there. Bus looking to ground that one, and Combo denies him for the time being. Jay with a lofty pass. Scomp could find it, instead Top Cheese beats him to it, and it hits the ground there. That's going to kill that game. Stockton walks away with the victory.
Yeah, Stockton walking away with a Game 1 victory there, only 2 games away from completely removing St. Clair from the bracket as a whole and moving on to the grand finals. And it's quite interesting to see how unfortunate today has been for St. Clair. We talked about right at the start of the broadcast, we need to see people bringing their 110%. We need to see teams bringing their A game. But the mental fortitude of a team being stuck at 4-game loss in a row, like that's tough. They've got to find some time to come back.
Yeah, and they certainly can. Like I said, they looked very, very good yesterday, and so it's a bit weird kind of seeing them fall from that position. And I mean, like I said, it's just a mental thing, right? You gotta be able to reset. But we say that like it's a simple thing, but sometimes that mental defeat is so hard to overcome. But that's the kind of thing that separates winners and losers, right? In Rocket League
Right.
or in any sport, is being able to overcome that difficulty.
Absolutely. They're definitely looking to overcome that difficulty as aggressively as possible. And now 4 minutes and 41 seconds already. This game coming to a very aggressive start. Stockton's bus goes for a goal early on, but Comp is going to be able to get in the way. And I'm pretty devastated to see a player named Bus and they aren't rocking the battle bus. That feels counterintuitive to me. But to each their own, this close to a grand final, I could definitely see why these teams are choosing not to be any kind of meme coming out here.
Yeah, no scarab cars or anything like that. No Batmobiles.
I one time watched a team in a best of 5. They won 2 games in a row, and then they swapped to the Scarab for like the 3rd game, and then they got reverse swept. And it was like the most devastating thing I've ever seen. So every time I see a Scarab, I'm like, oh no, this is a bad omen. But luckily enough, we are not seeing any Scarabs making an appearance, at least not yet today. These games, however, certainly lower scoring than what we saw from St. Clair and Stockton earlier.
Yeah,
From St. Clair.
I think that. Yeah, I think that St. Clair's been looking a little bit better on defense for sure than the other games. If memory serves me, I believe it was weird because Stockton, their game was kind of low scoring a little bit of most of their games, but they were able to pull off a few high scoring ones as well. So. You know, they're just kind of looking to do what they can.
Yeah,
Plays
certainly
us
so.
into the
They're looking
corner.
as I said, they're looking to do what they can. St. Clair, they're trying to find a goal. If they can find a goal before Stockton, I think that'll be the first time all night we've seen them in the lead.
Yeah, and here we go. Claire, good pass. Kamal with a nice little air dribble. He's not able to trick Bus on that one, though. The shot comes through D-Money. Good save.
Yeah, D is going to be able to find the save there, and it looks like Comp is going to get a little bit hyper-aggressive as well, but already coming up on another halftime with 0 points on the board. The last game only having a single point scored. Game 2 looks like that may happen here as well, but 2 minutes and 40 seconds in the world of Rocket League is an eternity.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. And at 0-0, that could certainly be, 15 minutes. You know, I've been there where you're like, 10, 12 minutes into overtime, and you're like, why won't the ball go in? Then you're just like, maybe I just hit it in so I can I can call it a day.
I think the longest I think the longest overtime that I've been a part of as a caster was a little bit shy of 9 minutes, but as a player, I think when you go into like the non-competitives, that's when it really starts to drag on a bit. But finally, he is going to be able to put something on the board there. Stockton going up 1-0, almost at the exact same time they did last game. So St. Clair, they've got 2 minutes to put themselves on the board for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, D-Money putting that one away. Stockton now in the lead. St. Clair once again finding themselves behind. And you got to think the more that this sort of happens where St. Clair fails to find the first goal, it just starts to wear on your mental even more.
Yeah.
And, you got to dig deep at some point and hope to sort of come up with something to come back. And much to St. Clair's credit, nice little block there. Much to St. Clair's credit, they have been able to respond on multiple occasions.
Yeah, St. Clair's defense is very strong, but I talked about this earlier. You can't just have a strong defense. You've got to have a strong offense. And as I talk about a good defense, absolutely nobody is there. The top cheese comes rolling in, able to find the second goal online for Stockton.
This is kind of dirty. He makes it look like he's going to hit it. I don't know if he actually makes contact with that ball or not. He certainly is looking to make that save difficult, and it does end up going in. That was just a good play by Top Cheese.
It It really was. And absolutely a very strong play from Top Cheese. Now it's going to be 73 seconds left on the clock. St. Clair, they've got time to score twice, but statistically speaking, we haven't seen them score in 14 minutes.
Yeah,
Right, they scored last
where
game,
you
I'm
have
sorry.
to kind of, yeah, you have to kind of beat the statistics. I don't think we've seen them score 2 times in a minute. Might be incorrect, but
Not since like
at least
the
today.
third game of the first
Yeah.
set. I think it's been a while.
Yeah, but they certainly can do it. They were able to put away a whole lot of goals yesterday, right? It's within them. They just got to find it. They got to dig deep. They got to find whatever was working yesterday and make that happen again.
Absolutely, but 30 seconds left. They are certainly running out of time. It is time to wake up for St. Clair. This is going to put them not only on series point, but their tournament life is on the line here if they lose the next game. Stockton 20 seconds away from only 20 seconds away from being 5 minutes away from taking St. Clair out of this tournament. St. Clair, they are really getting close to their now or never moment.
And here comes the crunch time. If they can get this one, then they still have enough time to make something happen, but looks like time is gonna be the enemy on this one, and this game's gonna go to Stockton.
Yeah, time, the real winner of this all, as Stockton takes game number 2 again by only a couple of points, a 2-point differential there, 2-0. Stockton, they are 5 minutes away from taking this win over St. Clair. Oh my goodness, Top Cheese has 16 ping. Holy cow, that's impressive.
That man is on top of the server as we speak. He's inside of the building. He's infiltrated.
That's incredible. That's how it seems, 16 ping. And I have to wonder, is ping a little bit of an issue for St. Clair? Because I noticed we're looking at the other side. They're at 16, 60, I think like 20-something. St. Clair was at 60, 60, and 82. So there's, that doesn't sound like a crazy difference, but in a game as specific as Rocket League, where a single micro mistake can cost you the game, ping genuinely could be the reason a team loses.
It certainly could be a huge factor. I mean, when you're talking about this level, you look at all sorts of esports, and there's some that just they do LAN events, and I mean, you look at like Professional Smite or whatever. Their whole professional league, they oriented around it to be on LAN so that they didn't have this problem, so players could play at their peak and have the fairest playing ground. And I mean, yeah, sure, it's for 60 ping is nothing. Like your human reaction time, way slower than that. You won't notice it, but it will have an effect. Even still. Absolutely. Even like you said, your brain, the difference between processing something at 16 ping and 60, the human brain can hardly notice a difference. But there certainly is one when it comes down to, like I said, those micro errors, those micro mistakes of a game as fast as Rocket League. But Stockton, they have got St. Clair on the ropes here. Yeah, absolutely. And again, St. Clair's going to have to find something, because if they don't, they're going home with not a mucho, which is Spanish for not much.
Oh,
Top Cheese.
Oh, that was
mean,
rough.
Boss. You can't. That's just
that's
rude.
rough.
You can't do that. That's rude. That was going in.
Just adding a little bit of insult to injury.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta have a goal here, guys. Let me. Cheese has had enough. Give me a slice.
Rubbing some salt in the wound.
Really milking these puns.
Yeah, very much so. And it's going to be a lot of hyper-aggression coming out from Stockton, or from St. Clair now, because they're already down a point. We just started game 3. They are desperate to find anything. Putting it online, finding a goal could honestly make a colossal difference. It could be the very reason they take us all the way into a game 4. But scoring has definitely been difficult for them. It's been quite a while since we've seen them put a point online.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe you just throw the playbook out the window and play as overly aggressive. Maybe you set up some demolitions. Do something to throw Stockton off of the groove, because right now they are an impossible mountain to climb, so to speak. And St. Clair just does not have the answer with whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah, they certainly do not have the answer. And you've got to wonder if they're choosing to maybe try new comps or strategies. And, the back up into the ball from Top Cheese. Getting things lined up and just kissing that goal goodbye. St. Clair falling 2-0. This could already be the highest scoring game of these teams that we've seen so far.
Very possibly. And that was just bullying. Not only does he get the demo, but then he backs it up to score the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Top Cheese.
A little bit of BM coming out from Stockton there as St. Clair falls 2-0, 3.5 minutes left. So more than enough time online for St. Clair here. But like I said, scoring has not exactly been their forte. So they're really going to have to change something up here if they want to succeed.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, they gotta maybe change something. I just don't know exactly what it is that they can change at this point. Maybe you just throw everybody forward and hope for the best. That obviously just leaves them very wide open to even more goals.
Yeah, and that's going to be something that definitely needs to keep an eye on here is St. Clair's defense. I commented on the strength of it earlier and talked about, oh, their defense is so strong, they're coming through, their offense is a little weak, but now even their defense is going to have a couple of cracks in it. They are down 2-0 with already coming up on halftime.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And promising attack there from Scomp, but just not going to find anything from that. Good defense from Stockton, and they've looked solid all night. And that was a little tricky shot from Bus, finding his second of this one.
Yeah, Busket, I mean, technically they're second, but they definitely stole the first one away a little bit there on that first goal. So we're going to be seeing Stockton just underneath halftime, up 3-0. St. Clair, this is their swan song. This is their final hour to make the magic happen, and they will be removed from the tournament.
Yeah, and I don't know what they got. They got to have some sort of trick. If you got, I said throw the playbook out. If you got some sort of secret, play, like the annexation of Puerto Rico or something hiding in that playbook, now is the time to pull it out because everything is on the line at this point. As you said, This is it. There's no losers bracket that you can proceed in. This is the loser bracket final. Really, the winner of the losers bracket final. Can we call it the you done all right kid final?
This is where St. Clair's anime redemption arc was supposed to begin, right?
Yes.
But instead, they remain to get beaten up here. They are not looking good. They are the mark of invincible here. They are just getting beaten every single fight they try to take. Stockton here coming through 3-0, only 81 seconds left on the clock, and just a great opportunity to go up against Central Florida in the grand finals, which will be right after this.
Yeah, I mean, we said, this is supposed to be St. Clair's anime redemption arc, but I feel like in a way this is really Stockton's because they were in the bottom bracket. Like, they won the losers bracket to get here, and now maybe they end up taking the whole thing.
I honestly, with the way they've been playing so far, I wouldn't be surprised. I genuinely think they're going to put up quite the fight against Central Florida here coming up in the grand finals. But Central Florida, definitely the strongest team I think we've seen so far today. So Stockton, they take out St. Clair, but they're going to have to give their 120, their 150% up against Central Florida after this. 36 seconds left on the clock, and St. Clair, I believe it is time to hug them goodbye, my friends. I'm not sure there's much else they can do in the final half minute of this game.
Yeah, provided some sort of miracle happens.
Right.
I think Stockton has this one, and the next game, the grand finals, I am super excited to see because both Stockton and Central Florida have been playing lights out, and I cannot wait to see which one of them comes out the winner in the best of 7.
Yeah, and St. Clair across 15 minutes, or including the overtime, 17 minutes, they were only able to find one goal the entire time. Stockton taking a 3-0 victory there in both senses, 3-0 in the game and 3-0 in the series. Stockton will move on to the grand finals up against Central Florida, and St. Clair, unfortunately, just back-to-back devastating losses, going 0-6 on the day.
Yeah, and I think that maybe their game plan was slightly faultier, or they weren't able to execute it because they, as you stated, they really had a focus on defense. St. Clair did. And, I used this analogy yesterday, but I think that it's very apt here. If you're playing football, American football, right, and you have an offensive line, there's only so long that offensive line can keep the defensive line from getting to your quarterback. And so you got to get that ball out. And if you just sit back and invite this pressure in, you're just inviting goals to happen. And I think that St. Clair ended up kind of in that game, whether intentional or incidental. It's just they were too much on the back foot for me.
Absolutely. I don't disagree in the slightest. They were very much on the back foot, and that may be part of the reason they lost. But now I believe we're going to be throwing it to another break. We're going to be coming up with grand finals here in just a couple of minutes. So don't go far, folks. We're going to be coming back to you with the grand final Rocket League best of 7 series in just a couple of minutes. We'll see you soon.
Breaking through. You feel me too. I still wanna run to you. Am I breaking through? You feel me too. I still wanna run to you. Am I breaking through? You feel me too. I still wanna run to you. Am I breaking through? Am I breaking through? Am I breaking through? Am I breaking through? Am I breaking through?
Welcome back, my friends, for more AVGL Summer Series Rocket League. I hope you missed these gorgeous faces just as much as we missed all of you at home. Still Septilance and Mega Dinos, sir, to bring you the grand finals best of 7 coming out here. But to keep in mind, there will be no bracket reset, so Central Florida will start with a 1-game advantage.
And that's always nice to have, right? Coming into a best of 7 being 1-0 in that set, and certainly deserved because they came through the winner bracket, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got to keep in mind that this technically just gives them a first to 3 if they win all 3 games, right? If they just win 3 games in a row, the same way they did over St. Clair, that's all they have to do. That is the only thing separating them from first place. But we've seen some very strong teams today. We have down to our, technically speaking, the bracket has proven these are the strongest teams we have to offer. But kickoff will begin. Central Florida versus Stockton. Central Florida in the blue, Stockton in the orange, and the timer will start a ticking.
Yeah, and it's going down. Wow, nice shot right off the bat to start
Oh,
things.
no way.
This is a fast-paced game as Bus finds the lead 9 seconds into game 1 for Stockton.
Yeah, that is a best case scenario on how to start a game. I mean, this has just been phenomenal. Stockton, they're down by an entire game. If they can win this one, they can tie things back up in 1-1. They get a first of 3 series, but Central Florida, we're going to have to see how quickly they can respond to the goal that just came out from Stockton there.
Yeah, and certainly we've seen them be able to put some goals away themselves, and so I don't think that that's necessarily a big problem. Again, we're just looking at a mental thing, right? It's 1 goal. Not a big deal. Not a big deal, right?
Right, and Stockton maybe a little bit more warmed up than Central Florida, as Stockton is coming right from one game into the other. Central Florida, though, I would assume just immediately went into some kind of practice after that first game. Either way, here a great demo from Snipes is going to be able to give Central Florida a little bit of wiggle room in terms of getting aggressive, trying to find some value, but it looks like it's going to be Bits who sends the ball straight up above Stockton's goal. Very little follow-up, and a great defense from Bus is going to keep the ball in play.
Yeah, what a save indeed, and that is going to keep Stockton from conceding that goal that Central Florida so desperately needs, or maybe not desperately quite yet, but they definitely want it. Big demo coming out. There's a lofty little displacement of that ball in the back corner. Makes it nice and secure, not too dangerous from that position, although we have seen some really odd angle goals thus far, even today in the tournament.
Yeah. We really have seen some unusual goals in the terms of how they've approached the goal and actually scored off of it. Now, only 1.5 minutes off the clock. 3.5 minutes is eons of time for this team to score, for Central Florida to put themselves back on the board and tie us up 1-1. But Stockton, they are all warmed up after that St. Clair game. And it looks like we may have a Rule 1 on the field. I didn't get a great glimpse at it, and if we did, it looks like it may have already been broken up. Either way, 2 minutes gone, 3 minutes left. Central Florida still down 1-0.
And not quite a Rule 1, it was, you know, the bumper, the back bumper to the front bumper action. So, you know, I don't know what the courtesy rules there are, but suppose in a tournament it's okay to break that one, especially given the circumstance.
Yeah, in a grand finals, it does seem a little bit reasonable that, you know, you don't want to hang out in a Rule 1. I have seen a grand finals before where 2 players on each team were like Rule 1. So a 3v3 was literally a 1v1 for like 30 seconds. It was absurd. But either way, now we're going to see another shot coming out very aggressively. And it looks like Stockton's not quite going to be able to secure that second point. Central Florida coming in strong here, trying to keep themselves alive. We have now passed the cusp of halftime. Central Florida, the clock is ticking. They need to put something on the board here, but no, it's D instead, finding Stockton's second goal.
Yeah, just a slight error on the clearance here from Snipes. Just misses it, and D-Money right there with the anticipation to put it away. Great perseverance from the Stockton man. Oh, woman. I don't know.
The Stockton folk, if you will, they are going to be
The
coming
Stockton
out
folk.
hyper
Oh, I like
aggressive.
that.
Absolutely, and I mean, this is going to be this is a best case scenario for them, right? We saw Central Florida with a 1-game lead, but if Stockton can take the actual game 1, that can really give them a good opportunity to keep things tied up, and then it just turns into your traditional best of 3, or first of 3.
Yeah. Doing the math in my head. I'm just going to say yes. I'm going to assume that you did that right. Just going to roll with it.
Because they'll both have 1, and they only need 4, so it's technically just a first of 3 at that point.
Yeah, first to 3. Best of 6? But I'm gonna stop trying to do math. I'm bad at math.
Best of 5. First of 3, best of 5. But
yes,
I mean,
that would be correct. There you go.
This game 1 certainly looks like it's going to be ending in favor of Stockton here. Still, it looks like 81 seconds left on the clock, but Central Florida, they have not been able to score yet. Their offense and defense both seem to be a little bit lackluster for game 1 of the grand finals.
Yeah, we talked about Stockton's pace kind of being a bit oppressive in that last game, and it seems to be reigning true here as well. They are just lights out, speeding it.
Oh Yep, 60 seconds left on the clock in Central Florida. I mean, they are running out of time to make game one happen. Looks like it's going to turn into a 1-1 series.
Yeah, very likely at this point. Still plenty of time to maybe make something happen, and that's promising. Unfortunately, Bambi not able to put enough pace on that. It would have had to have been a real laser beam to go in. Stockton had that goal covered pretty well.
Now in the half a minute scenario, 1 goal per 15 seconds. Top Cheese goes for another one bust, able to find a demo, so a very brief 3v2 comes to fruition here, but unfortunately the 3 will be Stockton, and speaking of 3, Bust puts the 3rd goal away for Stockton, keeping them in the lead here 3-0.
Was that Snipes again? No. Was that Bits? I know it was Snipes. Snipes seems to be having a little trouble there. I wonder if maybe he's experiencing some latency issues or something that we were talking about earlier. As he seems to be just like a millimeter off of those clearances.
Yeah, we saw a couple of those instances earlier as well, where a player was just what felt like millimeters, mere inches away from finding a block or finding a goal, and then it felt a little bit off. So maybe that is what's happening here on the side of Central Florida with Stockton going up 3-0. There was no way for Central Florida to turn game one around. We are officially tied up and back into a traditional first 3 scenario.
Yeah, and Stockton looking like a force to be reckoned with coming into here, despite coming up through the losers bracket. Maybe they just found themselves there with a little bit of unluck, disluck, non-luck, bad luck. That's the one.
Anti-luck.
I know words. I speak English. That's a language that I know.
Absolutely. It's a tough one, to be fair. I have to say, it's a tough language. But either way, the tough language that we've seen so far is the language of Rocket League here, the language of car soccer in Central Florida. They have completely forgotten it.
Is the language of Rocket League just burr?
Oh,
Bambi burrs one into the back of the net.
I was going to say, Bambi looks like somebody did their studying between games, and they're back and a fluent speaker of the Rocket League game.
Yeah. Yeah, he burrows that one into the back of the net. There you go. Now we're cooking with puns.
Now we're getting warmed up here, just like Central Florida's able to get warmed up in the first 5 seconds of the match. This is going to be just best case scenario for them, especially after losing game 1. If they can put game 2 away, pack it under their belts, and take it into game 3, that could definitely be a good start. But D-Mine is already almost able to find another goal, Bids, with a very lucky block, and we're only 25 seconds into this game.
We are only 25 seconds in this game, so plenty of time for Stockton to show their mettle. And I'm certain we will see it come out at some point, and then we'll see if Central Florida can come up with a response, and it'll be a bit of a back and forth. Ooh, that was a nice little maneuver.
Yeah, Bus almost found it, but did get dismissed just a little bit there.
Off of the top bar there. Bus gonna dribble it out, maybe look for something. Bambi comes in. Money. It snipes back. Like I said, it's gonna come back and forth. We got that little tennis match, or what is it? Ping pong? That's what the kids say, right? Yeah,
sure, table tennis, regular
match.
tennis, ping pong. But honestly, I mean, if we're talking about ping pong, is the ball normal sized and everything else is really tiny, or is everything else normal sized and the ball is really big?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think the ball has to be normal size, right? And everything else is
I'm on
tiny.
that train. Yeah. I'm pretty sure in the audience is like eggs or something.
Eggs. They are eggs. Yeah. There's some Easter eggs hidden out there too. I don't know if that's literally Easter eggs, but I know that they hide stuff out in the crowds. You take the spectator outside of it.
Oh!
We will not be doing. Ooh, that's a nice little shot. We talked about weird angle goals, and there's certainly one for you.
Yeah, certainly so. D, I'm not sure even meant to take that one in, but as a wise gamer once said, we take those, and Stockton is certainly going to take those. Looks like they're going to be able to tie things up 1-1. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock.
Now we're back at a tied game, and now we're going to find out who has the character to make this play, or make this game go their way. Either way, it'll be another notch. We're essentially tied up in all aspects, really. Good shot there.
Yeah.
Bambi with a nice little air dribble. Damo comes out. put him a little closer to the defensive side of things.
Yeah, and on the bright side, this is going to be the first game we've seen all night that is not a 3-0 victory because both teams already have 1 point online. It could be like a 4-1, but it's not going to be a 3-0, and that's all I care about. And okay, it looks like Stockton going to be making this one quick. It looks like they're going to be able to find a second goal online just before that halftime comes to fruition.
Great pass by Bus, and then Cheese is already there. Maybe a little mishandling from Central Florida on the clearance on that one. And yeah, Stockton find themselves up. This has been a back and forth one.
Yeah, certainly so. This one feeling probably some of the closest Rocket League that we've seen all day today. We've seen, like I said, a lot of 3-0s, a lot of, I think one of the scores was like 6-1. Like, there's definitely been some dominant forces here today, but these teams, they have proven they are the best that this tournament had to offer, the AVGL Summer Series. Now, they're coming up close and personal, trying to find some value here. Stockton, they want to prove they're not just one of the best, but they are the best, and they're 2 minutes away from putting another point online.
They're certainly looking like the best so far, but Central Florida aren't too far off of the mark. And they certainly have a good chance of walking away with this one as well. If I was a betting man, I definitely wouldn't put my money on either team. Because you could certainly be losing that money.
I was going to say, this is absolutely anybody's game right now. And even if Stockton does take this one, they're still going to have to win 2 more. That is a tall ask, to say the very least. This is one of those games where the best of 7 starts to become just as much about the mental fortitude as it is the physical fortitude. This is going to get tiring for these players as we move further and further into this best of 7.
Yeah, I was going to say mental endurance starts to play a factor in these big best of 7 games as they just keep running on and on and on, and you're so hyper-focused, it just drains you mentally, and you're going to have to be able to keep composed, keep your thoughts clear, and keep focused.
Central Florida almost able to tie things up, going just a little bit too wide of the goal, unfortunately. Now it's going to be 60 seconds left. Central Florida, they've got to tie this up if they don't want to fall into a loss percentage here. They want to be able to keep themselves in the lead, but Stockton just coming out so strong so far in this grand finals.
Yeah, it seems like every single time Florida is on the front foot, Stockton just has an answer for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now coming up 30 seconds, like you said, ball back to the center coming through, and Central Florida, they have really struggled to find ball control just in general. So far, it's been Stockton constantly kind of leading the charge, controlling the pacing of the game.
Yeah, they have definitely floored it, and when you got to spend all of your boost on defense, it's very difficult to then turn around and make something happen on offense. But here's a promising attack from Bambi. Good save, though, by the Stockton boys. There's a nice little pass up the top. Snipes is going to grab that one, though. It's going to go off to the sidewall. Still a little bit of time if they can keep it up in the air and make something happen. And that would be awfully exciting to see. Here comes Snipes off the wall. Top Cheese trying to kill the ball, and he does. And Stockton find themselves ahead.
Yeah, Stockton not only winning 1 game, but winning 2, putting themselves in the lead. So keep in mind that Central Florida, they started with a 1-game advantage, which pretty much means they have not won a game in the grand finals so far. This could possibly be a 4-0 if Stockton can keep the momentum that we've seen so far from them. I'm really excited to see how far Stockton can take this momentum before they really start to drop it a little bit.
Yeah, again, it's that endurance thing, right? If you're running at top speed the entire game, you can't keep sprinting, right? And,
right.
I mean, you go through the training, you play through the scrims, you get the reps in, and those kind of things help. And that's going to be a big factor, though. We know that they can come out fast and hard, but can they do that for 5 games in a row, potentially?
Right.
Up to it's a best of 7, right? So it's up to 6 games. So yeah, I'm not sure, and I'm excited to see what they can do. And I certainly think that right now, if you're betting, you're looking at maybe putting your money on Stockton. But Central Florida has looked really strong at times, and if they can start to dictate the pace a little bit more, I certainly can see them walking away with this one.
Yeah, they definitely looked very strong against St. Clair earlier on as well, but so far it seems like they haven't been able to find their footing against Stockton. And you got to wonder, Stockton being as strong as they've been today, who knocked them into the losers bracket? Like, they have come out very strong, very aggressively, but now, unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit of damage coming through onto them time and time again. Stockton just able to constantly find the lead over Central Florida.
Yeah, now the ball out. From the back here, we're once again back doing the little back and forth dance, right? Somebody just hoping for that mistake to happen. A little inch to take a mile. That's a great play, though, from Stockton, but Snipes right on the ball, quite literally, to take that one away.
Yeah, now it's going to be a minute and a half off the clock. We're getting very reminiscent of the games that we saw earlier today where no real points coming online super quickly, but these are the games that Stockton seem to pretty consistently win. So I'm curious if that pattern is going to carry on in this game 3 as well.
Yeah, and I think so far there's not much looking like they're going to be able to be stopped. But Central Florida is looking really, really good right now. They, you know, it's 2 minutes in the game and still haven't conceded a goal. They're definitely, you know, meeting every single touch. There we go. That Stockton has. And they find one in.
Yeah. Central Florida, they finally pick one up. The defense from D and Top Cheese just going to be a little bit too short to be successful there. Going to be a great start for Central Florida here in Game 3. Are they going to be able to tie the series up once again? 2 minutes and 57 seconds to make the magic happen. That's
and
not.
There we go, Top.
That's not.
Uh-huh.
That's not how that was supposed to go, I don't think.
Wow. That's a little bit of a good shot and a little bit of luck. It looked like it sort of like pinched and bounced back and forth a little bit, and just somehow Top Cheese ended up running with that one, and they end up finding the answer. Man, Stockton is just looking so sharp right now. It is hard to bet against them.
I have to agree. They are looking very impressive, very strong so far, and they just do not seem to be slowing down even for a moment. It's going to be 2 minutes and 35 seconds left on the clock. And Central Florida, they found one goal, but honestly, it felt a little bit lucky. Stockton going to be coming in with not one. Oh, no way, off the corner of the goal. I thought that one was going to be a shoo-in for Stockton, but instead, it looks like Central Florida is going to be able to turn things around.
There they are. And now, the ball just across the midfield. Nice little touch to get that out of danger for Central Florida, and maybe into danger if you're Stockton, but it doesn't play out that way as Bit's forced to clear it from the back.
Top Cheese is going to be able to go for another goal, but Central Florida's defense really starting to show their faces once again here, getting hyper aggressive, and that's exactly what they need to do. They've got things tied up. Best case scenario, they score before overtime. Worst case, they send it to overtime and try to win there, but with only 101 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be Bambi from Central Florida who finds that second goal for Central Florida, able to take the lead once again 2-1.
Man, just as I was about to say, that was really unlucky. Bambi turns that into a lucky play, puts that in the back of the net for Central Florida. And now they're up 2-1.
Now a 2-1 lead for Central Florida, the first lead that they've had once again in a long time. This game, easily their best one in a while, so we're definitely seeing a lot of impressive turnaround, but saves coming out from Snipes is going to be able to keep that lead just longer than they were able to before. It's sending it toward the goal of Stockton, but going to get disrupted, unfortunately. Not able to find the lead quite yet once again.
You gotta like the creativity on that one, though, pulling that kind of maneuver out. You never know. You never know. Sometimes those ones sneak in, and overall, I think that's a good play out of Central Florida. Kind of show that mentally they're still there.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the mental fortitude is just as strong, if not stronger, than the physical fortitude of playing this game for so long. It gets tough, especially when you're playing at your 110% or higher. It really becomes difficult to constantly play at that level with Stockton here. They want to tie things up. They want to force overtime, or maybe they want to take the lead here with 40 seconds left on the clock.
Explain to me what the physical fortitude in playing Rocket is. Does your thumbs like start to cramp
your
up
hands?
after?
Are you kidding me? Using the controller,
Start
your
to-
knuckles, your fingers? Like that, you can't do that without using your hands, right? Stockton able to put that second goal online. I'll tell you, when I play this game, I feel like I have arthritis. I might have arthritis, but that's a different conversation. But this game, every time I play, my fingers are cracking all over. And to play for as long as these guys play as quickly, I mean, their fingers have to be killing them.
You gotta be doing your stretches beforehand.
Yeah, I definitely don't do
Here's a
those. And
easy
okay,
shot.
wow. Yeah, that was
D-Money,
free.
And like a thief in the night, Stockton comes to steal this one? will Central? I mean, they still have 25 seconds. Central Florida can certainly come back, but they're going to have to be very, very proactive on this one. And it's a good start for them. That ball is very promising. Bambi with a good dribble, but D-Money looking to make yet another great play off the back wall. But our Snipes, excuse me, takes the shot, is blocked. It's now across the center. Bambi gonna try to dribble it around, get it onto frame, not quite there. There's Snipes across. D-Money with the clearance. And Bit's gonna try to keep it in the air for as long as possible. Bambi does keep it up. Bit's with the shot. It's a little slow. Knocked back down, and Stockton take game 4?
Yeah, technically game 3, but the 4th point coming through for Stockton there. And now they are 5 minutes away, theoretically 1 goal away from destroying Central Florida in the grand finals, 4-1. Stockton, they came in, they came fully gassed up, ready to play, and they have just brought their absolute A game the entire time. It has been nothing short of pedal to the metal. And honestly, if they can do that for just 5 more minutes, they can walk away victorious.
Yeah, I certainly think this is, at this point, Stockton's title to lose, right? And what do you do if you're Central Florida? You're going to have to make some kind of adjustment going forward. And I think that really they need to outpace Stockton, but that is way easier said than done, right? Like,
right.
How do you outpace a team that's running at like 99 miles an hour?
It's certainly tough. It's certainly tough. We talked about, at the beginning, in a marathon, you can't just sprint at the start and then walk the rest of it. And I thought we were going to see that from Stockton. I thought they were going to get tired a little bit in this later half of the series, but they, like you said, they haven't slowed down for a second. They have been nothing short of hyper intense the entire time, and now jumping into what could very possibly be our final game. We'll have to see if they can keep the momentum up.
Yeah, that's it. If they can keep this momentum up, I think that they obviously they win it, right? They only got one. Right. They only got one to put up. This is it. Yeah, you go lights out on this one, and you put it away. Walk away with that title. Certainly a nice notch to have on your belt.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And Central Florida, they've fought very strong, very valiantly to be here in the grand finals, but they have certainly dropped the ball just a little bit. An unfortunate series of events happening so far. They're really going to have to try and find a new pace moving forward here.
Yeah, and it looked like, they had a good chance of taking the last game, but somehow Stockton, man, they just keep finding these goals. And it becomes a little wearing mentally, you just feel like luck is not on your side and that the universe is out to get you. We talked about that mental battle, and you just can't let that in. You got to just move forward.
Absolutely.
Nice shot from Snipes.
We talked about that mental reset of taking every game as a GG go next, but we're getting to the point where Central Florida, there are no go next. If they lose this one, their back is against the wall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my mental's already gone. If I'm in Central Florida, I'm like, yo, sub me out, because...
I don't exactly disagree. This is certainly a tough scenario to be in, and Central Florida they've lost quite a few games in a row. Unfortunately, they're really going to struggle to find the value that they need. With 3.5 minutes left, like I said, Stockton theoretically a single goal away from taking Central Florida out of this tournament and winning first place.
Yeah, I think the one thing that you can, if you're Central Florida, look forward to is, a little bit of hope is, if you do manage to win this game and you reverse sweep the series, it would be the hypest moment, I think.
Oh, no doubt.
Well, first of all, the entire tournament, right? But, that's a big moment to have, right? That's something you're on campus, you're going to be talking about for a while,
A highlight reel waiting to happen, if you're able to pull that off.
Exactly. Exactly.
And this is probably about the time where a Central Florida fan in chat is like, oh, they're just making this interesting, as people often say when the team that they enjoy is losing. But Central Florida, if they were just looking to make it interesting, it's time to flip that switch and bring the absolute heat. D- there is going to get a little bit aggressive trying to find some value with the ball, but it actually turns into a great defensive block instead. Now we're going to be sweeping past halftime, still at 0-0. Both teams struggling to find the lead.
Yeah, struggling to find the lead. Maybe they're just playing a little bit safer. Nobody wants to concede that first goal. But it will be Central Florida. It's like they're listening to the cast. They're like, okay, wait for it. Okay, now he said nobody's scoring. We're in, boys. Let's go.
Every time I
Stockton
make a
ran
comment, I'm
through.
like, wow, it's been a while, and then one of the teams is like, all right, let's wrap this up. Let's put a point online. Stockton very
Let's-
well may have wrapped this series up by putting that point online alone.
We're gonna try this theory out. Man, it's been so long since Central Florida scored. It doesn't work if you're trying to do it, I guess. I guess that doesn't-
All right, so
Not the
we'll have to say it like nonchalantly. We'll have to trick Central Florida
right.
into thinking we're not expecting it. But
Right.
certainly, they need to put something online because they are 1 minute and 54 seconds away from getting 4-1 in a grand final, and the 1 is their advantage for being in the winner's bracket. Like Stockton, they have just ripped this team to shreds.
Yeah, I don't know if this. You can't even say that this is Central Florida playing poorly as much as it's Stockton just being absolute
Right.
menace. Like, please stay out of my ranking, Stockton. I don't want to see you there. I don't want to have to ever play against you guys because it is
Yeah,
frightening how good you are.
Yeah, frightening is, I think, a really good word for what Stockton has brought to the table. In the beginning, you know, I thought, oh, the team in the losers bracket, they probably had a little bit of a rough day. They haven't been able to perform super well, but they have come today, and they have performed insanely well. They are really bringing the heat in these crucial moments. And now 60 seconds separates Stockton in a 4-1, technically a 4-0 victory against Central Florida in the grand finals.
And what an upset, right? Coming from the losers bracket. Oh. Andy with a nice shot. Unlucky.
Oh! Wow,
Those were
I
two
thought they had
glorious
that.
shots, and they just didn't go in. Like, that's, I mean, an effort, but you gotta feel a little bit cursed, right?
Yeah, just
Surely
a
one
bit.
of those two shots goes in.
Yeah, surely one of those shots is supposed to go in, but Stockton, they have just, we asked these teams to bring their absolute A game, and Stockton brought their A, B, and C game, and they have just been playing like absolute beasts the entire time so far. I want to see what's going to be brought out from Stockton here in the final 20 seconds. Central Florida, I've said this phrase already, but this is their swan song. This is their now or never moment. They are officially out of time.
Yeah, you gotta make something happen. 10 seconds on the clock. Plenty of Rocket League time. Ball just kind of dished out into the corner here. Snipes looking to keep it alive. Bus looking to keep it dead. Snipes does manage to keep it up in the air. Bits looking to play it off the wall here. Little air dribble, top cheese with the reception. Bits plays it forward though, off the back wall.
Good setup.
And a shot.
Oh, no way!
It's blocked!
Oh, devastating. Absolutely devastating. I thought Bits absolutely had that shot, but no, instead, the Grand Finals comes to a close before it was even supposed to begin. Grand Finals was scheduled for 7:30 EST. It is 7:29 EST, and we have just finished Grand Finals. That's how convincing this game was from Stockton. Absolutely phenomenal series from them, not only in that one, but the one before in the losers bracket as well. Just Stockton, they pulled zero punches here today.
Like, I'm an old man. I can't take all of this excitement. I had a heart attack on the left, so I thought for sure that was going in. What a great piece of defensive work for Stockton, though, just to secure that victory and the grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stockton just, like I said, bringing their absolute A game, putting the absolute pedal to the metal at the highest degree. And before we call it a close, because unfortunately, very quickly, that brings the event to a close here today. But we, of course, want to shout out the University of Akron, which is super neat that I get to shout them out because I am, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, which is neat. So Akron, University of Akron, thank you so much. I love that esports program. I love to see what all y'all are doing over there. Of course, a huge shout out to all of our producers and tournament organizers and everybody in the background that made this happen. Thank you, all of our players. We obviously couldn't have a tournament without any players. A huge shout out to Stockton once again for an incredible, amazing victory there. And other than that, follow myself and Mega Dino on Twitter. They're listed literally right below us. I'm trying to hit 1,000 followers. I'll plug myself super hard right now. I would appreciate some followers on Twitter. But folks, for the time being, Dino, unless you've got anything else to say, I think it's time for us to go.
No, wow. What an absolute delight that last game was. Up to the last
Absolutely.
second. Oh, a lot of fun. So thank you for everybody. Thank you for the AVGL for having me here, Takasa, and thank you to all the viewers.
Yeah,
We
no doubt
appreciate
about that.
and
Thank you,
love you.
everybody. Yes, we love you so very much. And of course, check your posture, drink some water. Don't forget to love each other. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching, and have a great rest of your night. We'll see you next time.
Just move with me. How about we just say what we want on the count of three? without you.